Hello everyone, welcome to THLGK. Today we are talking about something we've already touched in the past. How faith is instrumentalized by religion and then used to manipulate us. So let's get to it. Whenever you think of religion, if you think faith is a synonym, if you use faith and religion interchangeably, know this. This is the result of indoctrination, of manipulation. Yes, the manipulation itself is the belief that religion is faith, that faith is religion, that they are interchangeable, that they are the same thing. The reality is vastly different. Faith and religion are two separate things. To make it easier to understand, think of like this. Faith is a hammer. Religion is a person. A person picks the hammer and uses however he wants. The person is not the hammer. The hammer is not the person. They are two separate entities. This is the reality of faith and religion. Faith is something religion uses, but it's not religion itself. The moment religion pretends to be faith, pretends they are one and the same, and most if not all of them do, that's when they are trying to manipulate you. Because here's the thing, faith is a very personal thing. So you can believe whatever you want. I always say this. But even if you are religious, you can believe God. You can believe Jesus. You can believe the entire narrative of the story of Jesus, that Jesus died for your sins. You can believe God, but you don't have to believe Jesus. You can believe the Hebrew Bible, but not the New Testament. You can believe the New Testament, but not the Hebrew Bible. You can even believe things that are not in the Bible, like the Trinity. You can believe the Trinity, the New Testament, and the Hebrew Bible. You can refuse to believe the Trinity, but you still believe in the New Testament, you still believe. This is the point. Faith is this. It's very personal. You can believe whatever you want. If you are religious and you go to church, it doesn't necessarily mean you agree with every single thing that church you are a member to is teaching. Your church might treat deep breaths. Your church might teach the Trinity, and then you stop and you study the doctrine of the Trinity and you say, no, this is BS. I'm not going to believe this. But you still go to church. This is what faith is. Religion, on the other hand, instrumentalizes faith. Religion is the institution. The way I like to visualize this is, imagine you live in a city. There is only one source of water, and that one source of water is controlled by one company. The source of water is faith. The company is religion. If you remove the company, the source of water will remain. Now, if you remove the source of water, the chances of the company remaining is almost zero. That's very important to keep in mind. You can have faith without religion, but you can't have religion without faith. You can't have the institution without the instrument they use. If they lose the instrument, they either have to create another or they are going to disappear. So, why conflate both? Why make religion and faith the same thing? To manipulate you, to manipulate us, and turn you into a defender of the institution of religion because you think your faith is being threatened. This is the ultimate objective of the conflation of faith and religion. Because look, faith is personal, religion is institutional. When I criticize religion, when I attack religion, let's face it, I do. I'm not going to pretend. Watch the episode. Oh boy. The previous episode, I don't even have to mention one. And yes, I attack religion. I'm doing this episode, I'm telling you religion is manipulating you. It's trying to, at least. But I'm talking about the institution. I don't care what you believe. How many times have I said that? But because they are taught to you, you believe they are one and the same. When I attack religion, you see as an attack personally, as if I'm personally attacking you. And now, if you are not religion, what would happen if I attacked anything in which two things are made into one? Because basically, the objective is, when you attack them, they pretend, and automatically people are going to do this, that the attack is personal, that the attack is against you, what you believe, against your faith. So, the psychological reaction is, I'm going to defend myself. That person, without me knowing them, without them knowing me, that they have any understanding or me as a person, they are attacking me. Who the heck they think they are? I have the right to defend myself now. This is the objective. Let's go back to the water example. Imagine you find that this company has been poisoning the water, making tests on the water, let's say adding additives, hormones, and whatever. And you and a group of people are mad. You rise up, you want to go down with the company. Now, the employees of the company, their families, and those clothes, they come in defense of the company. They say, do you want us to be without water? If the company is destroyed, what are we going to drink? You want us not to drink water. This is the difference. The protest is not against water, it's against the company. But because the company makes people believe without them there will be no water, of course people are going to feel threatened. Of course they will do whatever they have to defend themselves so they can survive. This is why when they are treated as one, when religion and faith are considered interchangeably synonyms, it's the product of indoctrination, of manipulation. There is another reason. Because, and now we have to use belonging, right? Because by making both into one, you are manipulated to believe you are part of that. It's the same thing. So you don't believe in God in a way, you believe in the Catholic God, or the Baptist God, the Lutheran God, the Methodist God, the Adventist God, it doesn't matter. You believe in the institution itself. So you will follow what the institution tells you about the object of your faith. This is what makes it very effective, because at this point what you believe is completely related to the institution you are part of. So yes, it's very, very difficult to separate both. For you to realize you can believe anything, even exactly the same as the institution you belong to, but you don't have to be a part of that institution, it's very difficult, because the institution, the religion, makes it essential, indispensable, their own existence. So if the discourse is basically, if we don't exist, you no longer will be able to believe in this, which is a complete lie. Again, you can believe anything you want, but that's what happens. So the faith becomes dependent on the religion. Again, another aspect of the manipulation, because in reality, religion is dependent of the faith. Religion is dependent on what people believe. But they invert the positions. But they invert it. They don't invert the positions in reality. If you believe, and if you take a step back and say, I can believe everything I believe, but not be a part of religion, they are done. They are completely done. But to get to this point is a long and arduous journey. One not many people are willing to take. Because, look, you lose all the belonging that you had. Now you believe in a very lonely manner. You gain certain freedoms, of course, but you lose the religious aspect. It's not the religious aspect, you lose the communitary aspect of religion. And we humans were evolved in community. Like, since the beginning, it's always in a communitary aspect. So losing that is really scary. And I would even say it's really detrimental. Now, we should create alternatives for that so we don't depend on religion. But would, do we have it? Very rarely we can find something like that, so you can understand why it's very difficult for someone to separate from their religion. So they end up bowing, accepting things they themselves might not believe in, because everything is put together, connected, and if you try to take something apart, everything will crumble. So you might look at the Catholic Church and see all the abuse, the child abuse. That's been, at least in the news, appears to be reducing. But you still want to be a Catholic. You still can't get away from this. Even if you know this is institutional, even if you notice a lot of the leadership either turned a blind eye or a part of it, it's almost impossible to separate the belief from the institution. So, find excuses. Like in the video where I talk about I shouldn't make, in quotes here, right? I shouldn't make content anymore. Where the person says, look, religion is not social control. Yes, bad people, evil people took control of Christianity and used for controlling, but that's not. You see, you can't separate one from the other. It goes to show how effective the manipulation is. Look, if you believe anything like God, Jesus, whatever, you don't have to be a part of an institution. If you are a part of an institution because you want to, okay. Now, if you are part of an institution because you think you have to be, that's when I would say, okay, think about this. Consider this. Again, if you want. What I do here is just expose. Here's what it is. Or should I even say, here's what I see it. How I see it. Everything else is irrelevant. Except liking the video, subscribing to the channel, sharing it, checking the other social media. Those things are not irrelevant. If you can, please consider them. And thank you so much for watching. and I see you all next time.